In terms of thinking that we'd ever be charged with a crime, my wife and I try to obey the laws as best we can if we know what they are. And in this case, there was no law. And the idea of being charged with a crime like this in the United States is just beyond me. I mean, this sounds like something that would happen in a third world country. I work in D.C., so it's a roughly 50-mile one-way trip for me to get to work, 50-mile back. And so an average morning for us is that I leave roughly 6 a.m. in the morning, and before Amy or the kids are awake. And she's essentially a single mom dealing with 3 elementary school kids, trying to get them ready for school in the morning, which starts at 7:50 in the morning. They charged both Amy and myself with 3 counts each, Class 3 misdemeanors. So we had 3 counts of Class 3 misdemeanors against both of us, so 6 counts total for our kids missing what turned out to be less than 3 hours of school the entire school year as a result of tardiness. The Commonwealth brought these charges, and they said, hey, we brought these charges in the best interest of your children. And that was so far from the case. It created so much stress for my kids, especially my oldest child. They all had feelings of guilt because they felt like they may have caused this problem. Out of the 27 times that our children were late to school, all of them, with the exception of 2, were for 5 minutes or less. A third of them were for 1 minute or less. And a handful of them were actually for seconds, where the tardy slip would actually say the time when the tardy belt went off, 7:50. They moved to criminally prosecute us on those tardinesses that actually showed the same time when the tardy bell went off. So I guess what they admitted to in court was that they were seconds late to school. We weren't the only family that was being targeted. There were other families as well that were being targeted in Loudoun County for similar charges. And we felt it was our responsibility to stand up to this and to say this is wrong. We spent what would be equivalent to $30,000 to $40,000 defending these charges. These charges are also having unintended consequences in our community as a whole. Parents are perplexed about what is the law, is my family going to be criminally prosecuted like the Denacors if my child's tardy to school, if my child is absent from school? As a result, a lot of parents have become less truthful about where their kids are. It was a traumatic experience for our family, and to have someone say that they were looking out for the welfare of our children when they didn't even know our children, hadn't even met our children, don't know anything about our family, it was just sad.